Let me begin with a very joyous and jubilant hello to all of my good friends out there in the trading universe, or anyone who decided to stop by and say hello. Welcome to another weekly edition of Stock Market Mutterings. My name is Doug here with Trade with Doug, and I'm fired up for this week's edition because number one, I missed last week, so I've got to bring the heat. Bring the heat this week. Second, I'm totally high right now. And I mean not like this kind of high. I just had like 3 cups of coffee and 7 pancakes on the Sunday morning. Yeah, so I got both caffeine high and a little sugar high. So I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. And I'm also fired up because I want to do something amazing before I get started with today's list. And that is I want to offer a very important special to the part-time trader program. I haven't done one of these in probably 4 or 5 months because basically I don't care whether you join it or not. I'm just doing my own thing here. But sometimes things kind of click into your head after the fact. And here's what it is. I was just kind of updating all the results for this year, and I was going back through them after the first quarter, and I realized, yes, I've only had one, two, three losing trades the entire year. Look at this. 2 in January, none in February, and 1 last month. And look at these results. Unbelievable. 1 to 3 trades per week. I don't know what else to say, but anyway, 3 losing trades. I'm going to be doing a special. It's down in the description box from now until Easter. Look, if you're looking for some great trades, some swing trades, there is a chat with this, but still, if you're just looking for some great trades, 1 to 2 trading ideas a week, daily watch list, and all that good stuff, I mean, here, look at it. Feel free to join me. It'd be great. All the details are down in the description box. So let's go ahead and get to it before the sugar and the caffeine wear off. Let's talk about this market. And what a crazy ride it has been. Again, I missed last week. And if I was doing that last week, I would have say really pay attention to this upper area of 45.83. And you know what? When the market started out, it just continued this ridiculous run. I mean, what an amazing rally this has been from the recent lows. And one of the important things, and we were talking about it in the past market mutterings, and for all you new traders or those that are struggling, one of the best pieces of advice I could ever give anyone, or one of the biggest things I've ever learned about the market, is it always seems to do the opposite of what everyone thinks. It's like the ultimate tool for trickery, right? You hear me say that all the time. And if you go back, it was just down in here. We were looking at war, nuclear plants exploding throughout Europe, inflation running rampant, and this market just gets up right before the Fed. It doesn't even wait for the Fed. Right before the Fed, and it's just straight up offering nobody a second chance to get into this rally. And that's how it is sometimes. Once everybody turns bullish up here, well, of course it sells off. So here's what do we do? Where do we go from now? What do we see here? You did a pretty good job of holding up the week's low. Basically, where it started Monday, we ended up there on Friday, except for we went straight up and then straight down. I think we should be able to test somewhere down around this 4,400 space. I would like to see this trade back down into here. I think that would be a decent pullback considering the bigness. Is bigness even? I'm running out of words. I just gotta stop. As bigness. I think it's the caffeine and sugar. But anyway, I would like to see it pull back there and maybe try to get long at that point to see if it kind of curls back up. Now you might not see that. You might just start coming right back at it here. And if you do, I would pay really close attention, obviously, to this high because I start thinking if we start trading around the 4,700s, just like that, man, we are within 100 digits of all-time highs. I didn't expect this, but again, I've been around long enough that nothing takes me by surprise anymore. I mean, I can do the shaking my head thing, but it is what it is. So I would consider that, guys. If you actually move up there, why wouldn't we at this point at least get a sniff? And I'm not saying we're going to blow through those or we're going to finish the year up there, but maybe that's what happens. Now, if you do end up losing this area, then there's a possibility we come back down into this. But there's a long way to go before we get back down into that. But we shall see. For right now, the most important thing is to be working on this range right here. And I think we stay inside of this throughout the remainder of the week, or at least by the end of the week, we get the answer to whether we have a chance of moving up to that zone or we're going to maybe even push further. So that's the deal there. Now, there are some individual names that are performing well. We've seen some risk come back into the market. We've seen cryptos go to the forefront here, coming back into favor. We've seen the meme stocks, the return of GameStop and AMC making some incredible pushes there. So again, risk appetite is high. People are ready to take some risk. I want to look at a couple of trades here. One are just regular stocks that are traded most of the time from us in the private trading community, excuse me. And again, oil, gas, and energy, those types of stocks continue to perform well. I want to go back and I want to look at the old school shop here. This thing has fallen on some hard times. This was one of the biggest performers over the last couple of years. I mean, I can remember when this thing was in the $40 range and it went up to like $1,700 here. Since then, it's pulled back about 45-50%. It's building a really nice base down here, except for it just hasn't been able to stick any rally. You've had a couple of random green days there, but it hasn't been able to put anything together. If somehow this thing is able to just continue to hold this support and start to push upward, I think this is an amazing long. You got very, very low risk at this point. You could stop out right at the lows here, but this thing has the power to move back into the 1000s from this 700 zone, which is trading. Again, it needs a little bit of work. It's not perfect where it sits. It's nice and tight. It has consolidation. It's showing signs of holding support, and maybe this long-term drawdown of selling has finally stopped. The last part of the puzzle is you need a little kick to get us out of the bottom here, so keep your eye on that, especially keep your eye on the upper ranges here of 760. Any movements above 758 is good for me. I also want to take a look at Adobe. Here's some of these old school names that have been, Adobe was down like 40-some%. I already took a long on this off the double bottom down here, sold up here towards the resistance, and I actually kind of expected it to dip a little bit further. But over the last couple of days, even while the market was selling off, you didn't get any of that here. Take a look at this intraday activity up here. Let me scoot this over. I mean, it's really holding tight up here over the last 3 days. So what that means to me, or the way I translate that with technical analysis, is that it's holding the gains. You're not getting that thrust downward that's causing people to panic out of the position. All you really need here is a pushback above this 465.31, and I think we have 500 in store. I like that Adobe. Also, Home Depot here was another one. It's at, let's see. You got a really nice double bottom here. I expect this to hold support. It did a pretty good job of doing that on Friday. Just didn't rally quite enough, but I think any move that comes above 305, I want to get long here, stop here, and possibly see if we can tag 340, if not at least 320. I like that Home Depot. And AMD, story with AMD, most of you know, was downgraded here, right at resistance too. Isn't that ironic? Right at resistance, they downgraded this thing. It's moving into 100. I would like it at 100. Maybe it doesn't make it there, but that would really interest me if we can get down to 100. I think it would bounce off of there. It may not come back up to 120, and it may end up trading a little bit lower, but it's still, I think if you can get down there close to 100, you'll see some type of a bounce for cash flow. Now I'm going to run through the next ones here real quick because there are these oil, gas, and energy stocks. You have this RADA, which looks real nice. I have some of the lines here on the chart that you could take a look at. I like this one above 1430, stop just slightly around 13, target back to the highs. You have this NOV, N-O-V. Another one that kind of looks the same there. I like this long through 2065 if you're not already long. It's a tiny bit of a chase there. But I think you can do that with $1 to $1.50 worth of risk. You can retarget those highs, especially if oil runs. If we start to see a resurgence in oil, which I'm not sure we do or not, you'll probably see a resurgence in these. They just kind of mimic those charts. EGY is another one. Really nice looking chart here, continuing to have gains, and CLF. A little bit steep here, but still they continue to perform well. And there's just a couple. I mean, you look through you do a scan in the whole oil, gas, energy sector, you're going to see a lot of those charts that look the same. Pick your poison. ZIM is another one, I think it is. Yeah, ZIM here, another one. Shipping services as well. These stocks continue to get some bids, so keep them on your list. And if you are, make sure you pay attention to oil throughout. You know, anything like that could change the way these look, but I like them. So in a quick synopsis here, Shop, Adobe, Home Depot, AMD, RADA, NOV, EGY. cliff a couple of those that we're looking at. And don't forget about the special guys. Regardless of what I say, the performance is there. Only 3 losing trades this whole year. If you're looking for something just to add some quality trading ideas, easy, actionable stuff. When I say easy and actionable, I mean it's no slippage, no, oh, I got in here and sold way before you. None of that garbage. It's just clean, easy trades. Then be sure to check it out down in the description box. My caffeine is wearing off. My sugar is wearing off. I'm going to get a headache now and probably need some ibuprofen. Nothing like a cheat day, right? So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. If you need help, always feel free to reach out to me. Support at thelincolnlist.com. Thanks for watching. Take care. Trade well. I shall talk to you next week.